Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's your pal Nomz here, and oh boy, is there a lot to talk about. So, there I was on my lunch break, just having a feed as I usually do, drinking my coffee, getting set for the latter grueling half of the day at work, and there on my feed I see that Microsoft bought Activision for $68.7 billion fucking dollars. Remember the good old times 2 years ago, thinking back now at how gasped in awe we all were when Microsoft bought Bethesda for like $7 billion. We're like, oh my god, it's almost twice as much as Disney bought Lucasfilm and Star Wars for. Oh my god, it's the second biggest gaming purchase in history. Wow, mind blown. And everybody was in an uproar, and all the Bethesda fanboys and the Sony fanboys were losing their shit. Some certainly more than others, but I mean, isn't that just a nice little giggle to think back on? Because 2 years later, instead of Sony prepping their little pause for Activision to say, hey, here's a few sweet meal if you provide Sony players some nice little Call of Duty exclusives and cut off the rest of the market for an entire year like you did with Modern Warfare 2019 with Spec Ops and the survival mode you were offering for that game. Let the Microsoft players and Xbox players and PC players sit in the dark, and let the Sony ponies get the inside scoop into the latest Activision Call of Duty disaster. Even though Modern Warfare, all memeing aside, was actually pretty fucking good. Before Sony can, however, do that this year, Microsoft waltzes in and is like, Sony, that's cute. You're offering a few million. Hold my beer. Here's $68.7 billion fucking dollars. Give me your entire company, all your assets. We're making money. You guys can fuck off. We're doing things the Microsoft way now.
Could you do me a favor? Hold this beer while I back it up. I got 5 more. Take care, guys.
Now, I mean, the balls on this company, Phil Spencer, whoever the fuck's in charge of Microsoft's finances, it's almost like they don't give a fuck. And Activision were already, I mean, granted, everyone knows what a piece of shit fucking company they are. They are, in my opinion, the worst company in gaming history and arguably one of the worst companies in the world. I think EA are shit cunts, let's be honest, but EA, I think, just gets all the bad press for the most part. I think Activision, because the focus is on EA, I think Activision gets away with a lot more than they should. Blizzard, same deal. Because EA is kind of like the scapegoat. Everyone hates EA, and rightfully so, but I honestly think Activision deserves more, and they were getting it because of this recent like sexual harassment allegations, lawsuit, uproar that was happening, not to mention firing hundreds and hundreds of employees despite record profits. It's my understanding that there was like a massive strike going on at the time, and it's currently still going on, and Microsoft apparently bought Activision, maybe not as cheap as they could have, but in the past few months, apparently Activision had dropped quite substantially in their stocks and their company's net worth and all that jazz. I mean, it's been kind of a wildfire for Activision in recent months. So Microsoft bought them while they were vulnerable. They were circling like a hawk, and now they possess all of Activision and Blizzard's assets, including World of Warcraft, fucking juggernaut, Call of Duty, mega fucking juggernaut, and Candy Crush. Apparently that's a really big moneymaker. I don't know, I don't play Candy Crush. And, I mean, just about everything else. It's crazy. It really is. Anyway, that's my little opening rant out of the way. Here is the full story. So it says Microsoft is buying gaming powerhouse Activision Blizzard in what is the industry's biggest deal in history. The $68.7 billion acquisition, which is apparently $95 billion in the Australian dollar, will make Microsoft the world's third largest gaming company by revenue behind Tencent and Sony, who are quite frankly shitting their pants right about now. The transaction includes iconic franchises, including multiplayer online role-playing game World of Warcraft and first-person shooter series Call of Duty. Activision is also handing over 2016 Game of the Year winner Overwatch, which, as far as I know, has a sequel coming, apparently. Popular mobile game Candy Crush and action game series Diablo. I never quite got into Diablo. Maybe I should. I wanted to play the remastered version of Diablo 2. We'll see how we go with that. Microsoft's investment in development of the metaverse is also a key part of the deal. Quote, gaming is the most dynamic and exciting category in entertainment across all platforms today and will play a key role in the development of metaverse platforms, said Satya Nadella, chief executive of Microsoft. Whoa, that's a job title right there. We're investing, quote, deeply in world-class content, community, and the cloud to usher in a new era of gaming that puts players and creators first, that's key here, and makes gaming safe, inclusive, and accessible to all. We got him on quote, people. Let's hold him to it. Recently, Activision has faced allegations of sexual harassment of employees and misconduct by several top managers. The company is still addressing those allegations and said it had fired or pushed out more than 36 employees and disciplined another 40 since July. Well, let's hope they weren't firing employees for simply speaking up and speaking their mind about the shitty fucking management on display there. Remember, this is the same company who axed like hundreds of jobs at a time when they recorded billions in profit and were doing just fucking fine. They still needed more because they're a bunch of greedy cunts, as well as being absolute human pigs. Microsoft executives talked up Activision's 400 million monthly active users as a major attraction to the deal, and how vital these communities could be in Microsoft's various metaverse plays. Activision's library of games could give Microsoft's Xbox gaming platform an edge over the Sony's PlayStation, which has for years enjoyed a more steady stream of exclusive games. Okay, let me stop this article right here. The reason why Microsoft is being so aggressive with its company purchases and acquisitions of game titles is because of their excellent fucking player service called Game Pass. Sony are actually the ones trying to play catch up to Microsoft. Yeah, sure, Sony sold more PS5s than Xbox sold the Series X. Big whoop. Those Sony ponies are regretting their choice right now because they don't have many games to play, while the Xbox Series X players have the ginormous library that Game Pass offers, both first-party from Microsoft and third-party from deals such as the EA Play Agreement. Not to mention Sony is still charging full price at launch for their first-party titles, which are few and far between, and with the amount of game studios Microsoft owns, all of those titles, new release, including Halo fucking Infinite, the biggest release Xbox has had in years, their flagship franchise was absolutely fucking free on Game Pass at launch. So yeah, Sony is currently winning the console wars. Microsoft is playing the long game, and they are about to start running circles around Sony. Anyway, the article goes on to say, quote, the likes of Netflix have already said they'd like to foray into gaming themselves, but Microsoft have come out swinging with today's rather generous offer, said Sophie Lund-Yates. That's a fucking tongue twister of a name there. Equity analyst at Hargreaves Lansdowne. According to Refinitiv data, the Microsoft Activision deal would be the largest all-cash acquisition on record, trumping Bayer's $63.9 billion US offer for Monsanto in 2016 and the $60.4 billion US that InBev bid for a company I can't even fucking pronounce in 2008. Microsoft owns Activision now, and all its titles, and is now essentially fucking 2 steps away from practically monopolizing the gaming industry. I mean, yeah, Nintendo's still a thing, but, I mean, Microsoft isn't exactly competing with Nintendo, because Nintendo isn't exactly selling what Microsoft is selling, so just put them out of your mind for a second. What does this mean for all gaming that is not Nintendo? Where is this leaving us? Now, if you've been watching my channel long, and, you know, what my stance is on Microsoft, as of right now, and this is very important, as of right now, and as for the past 2 years, since Game Pass has been making strides, I have been very much pro-Microsoft, alright? The amount of money I have saved thanks to Game Pass is absurd. You might think I'm overly invested in, like, the console war when I'm now primarily a PC gamer, and that's not true, and that I'm against the piece of shit 5. I mean, I'm really not. I just don't like Sony. There's a bit of a difference there. Thanks to Game Pass, I could actually buy a PS5 like 3 or 5 times over. No sweat. I just don't really justify buying a close to $1,000 console for like 2 exclusives that I want. I just can't do it. But that being said, where does this leave Activision's assets, and where does this leave the gaming industry as a whole going forward? Okay, my bias for Microsoft out of the way here, honestly, I don't know. It's far too early to tell. I wish I could give a better answer on this, given the fact that Microsoft acquired Bethesda 2 years ago, or nearly 2 years ago, and Bethesda was pretty much in the toilet, their reputation, as well as their game-making abilities. But as of right now, what do we have from Bethesda since Microsoft acquired it? Bethesda, we don't know if they're going to turn out a good product. Starfield still hasn't come out yet. The most we've gotten is like a teaser trailer for Starfield that, I mean, everyone wants to see more, but we still haven't gotten it. Nothing on the Elder Scrolls 6. And quite frankly, that's it, really. The good that's come out of the Bethesda deal is all of these lovely titles dating back several consoles and generations ago. All of it is on Game Pass, and it's fucking free, and it's fucking beautiful. Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, pretty much all of the Fallout games, Elder Scrolls, it's all there, and it's great. Now that's the good that's come out of the Xbox Bethesda deal. And if history is anything to go by, that's the same that we can expect with the Activision deal. All of the Call of Duties you've loved or hated over the years, varying in qualities, from the shit stain that was Infinite Warfare to the glorious return of Modern Warfare in 2019, all of those titles are going to be free on Game Pass. The Diablo series, free on Game Pass. Overwatch, free on Game Pass. World of Warcraft, free on Game Pass, and so on and so forth. That is the good that's going to come out of this deal. And guess what? All future titles too. We don't, assuming that the Activision assets are treated the same as the rest of the first-party Xbox assets. No more paying full price for a shitty Call of Duty game every year. That's the thing of the past. Diablo 4, when it comes out, free on Game Pass at launch. You guys don't have to worry. Look, I imagine there's far more invested fans in Activision Blizzard than I am. Like, people that have played the Diablo series since the first installment. I've never played a single Diablo. I've played a shit ton of Call of Duty, but I also jumped off Call of Duty for a while. I haven't even glanced at Vanguard. I loved Modern Warfare 2019. It was good to get back into COD after a couple of years. I played Black Ops Cold War for like 2 weeks, and then I really grew to hate it, and I stopped playing it. It was easy, it was weak, it was piss. But that's me. Everyone who is a fan of the assets this company churns out, I want to say, should be very happy with this. Right? And again, if history's anything to go by, this is what's going to happen, and it's great. But that's right now. And this is where I'm getting at. The future, what does this mean? And I almost, because I made a Game Pass video a few months ago, and I almost included this segment, but I wanted to leave it for another video, but I may as well give my little tangent here about it. You know, I wasn't paying too much attention at the time, but at the time when Disney started acquiring Marvel Studios and Star Wars, and, you know, granted, we knew better by the time they acquired Fox, but back when we didn't really know what was to come, a lot of people were excited for Disney having control of these other corporate entities and their assets and what they could do with them. Obviously, that didn't work out granted, Marvel had a good run with the Infinity Saga, and Star Wars has just completely shat the bed. Pretty much since 2015, it has just been an astounding downward spiral. And that's what Disney has done with the assets they acquired, and the amount of assets they now control that we wish they didn't because of how poorly they're being handled. You know, it makes my skin crawl thinking about it, but there's nothing we can do because they own these fucking things, and until Disney goes bankrupt, which I'm counting the seconds for, honestly, Disney are gonna continue to violate and destroy these beloved franchises. What is Microsoft gonna do with them? I don't know. Aside from putting them on the Game Pass platform and making them very accessible and free with the service, as of right now, that's all I can say for certain, that Microsoft is going to do good with this acquisition. What about 5 years from now? What about 10 years from now? What are they going to own in 5 years? Could they own Sony in 5 years? Could they own Sony in 10 years? Let's say they actually bought EA, for instance. They have the EA Play agreement. Let's say they actually bought EA. What is left for Sony? Sony are looking for studios to snatch up while they can, because otherwise this happens and Microsoft gets how much of the industry could Microsoft soon own? And here's the kicker. When they own everything, because they have the fucking checkbook to do it, is that the moment that Microsoft turns the cold shoulder and decides to be cunts again, like they were in 2013? Remember 2013? How could I forget?
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Xbox One.
Oh my God, my insides are on fire!
Never forget, absolute shit show. The Xbox One, the worst launch ever because it was the most anti-consumer launch in a console's history.
No use games! No trading games!
Who the fuck wants to?
No lending games on the new Xbox!
You fucking idiot! And Microsoft has been trying to recover ever since. They have recovered. They are making strides now, but it just takes one asshole to infiltrate the corporate structure and turn everybody into cunts, make all these cuntish policies, etc., 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 hire the wrong people that are going to do the same thing, and then we're back to essentially reaching for scraps. So, I mean, I don't know, guys. Like, I'm happy with the Activision deal, you know, Activision coming to Game Pass and being part of Microsoft's assets right now. Right now, it's good. 5-10 years from now, when Microsoft has more control of anything, and they don't have to fucking compete with anyone, and they essentially, I mean, for the most part, have a monopoly on the gaming industry, they can essentially do whatever the fuck they want. Not that they can't already, they can, but times change, companies change, you know, corporate structure changes. Money is the constant, and money is what they're always going to be after. And, I mean, greed corrupts, greed seeps in, and it keeps turning people and corrupting them and making them greedier and greedier and greedier. I mean, there's countless stories about how greed corrupts, and it just turns people worse and worse and worse because greed is insatiable. Human and corporate appetite for money and power and control is just an endless spiral, and it's going to, I hope it doesn't, but there's a very good chance it could reinfect Microsoft down the line. Not that they aren't already greedy. Well, they have also been very consumer-friendly for the most part as their business structure, how accessible they're making games, the Game Pass platform, value for money, variety, things like that. So I guess time will only tell, guys. But, you know, the future of gaming has me worried. The present of gaming is very exciting. I'm very happy with how things are going, particularly on the Microsoft front. But the future of gaming has me very skeptical and quite worried. And honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. Again, like, if history is anything to go by, the good doesn't just repeat, but the bad as well. Anyway, guys, look, that's where I'm going to leave this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this little rant. I didn't have a script for this. I was just honestly just getting my thoughts out there. It took me a couple times to do this. Hope you enjoyed my little ramble. Hope it was coherent enough for you to sit through. Thanks for taking the time. Special thanks to my Patreon members for all their support and contributions to my channel and my work. If you'd like to join the Patreon, the link is in the description. If you want to chat to me and others about your thoughts on the Microsoft acquisition deal, join the Discord, link is below. We talk about gaming and pop culture stuff, Marvel, Star Wars, you name it, pretty much in there. Check it out at your leisure, and who knows, maybe you'll make some friends along the way. A special thanks to a British Potato for helping me with the audio of this video. Check out his channel below. I have linked it in the description. He makes great stuff. And finally, here's one last thank you for staying till the end of the video. You are a legend, and I'll see you next time.